Hello, I'm Tony Spruce and welcome to my old Let's Play world for the not quite yet final time. How are you doing? Last time we fought the Ender Dragon, I mean, we saved our world and we got that beautiful dragon's egg here. But one thing we are still missing is a decent place to put it. And I had an idea for that. You know, we head out towards the back of this trading market hall, stall, something, and follow the path towards the left. You know, imagine there being a path. There's kind of a natural path in between the hills off to both sides. And if you follow it all the way through, then we get to here, to this rock or mound or whatever you would call this unnatural looking thing, because up here, or was it on that block? Not sure about that, but somewhere in these two blocks I spawned into this world. I still remember the very first tree I punched was around here, and you could hear every leaf breaking in the video because I made the silly mistake of recording the game audio as well as my voice to the same track, so yeah, the leaf breaking sound was quite loud and I couldn't do anything about it, so sorry. And there were the first berries I munched. And eventually we headed off into that direction where, of course, our base is now. But we never came back to this spot, which is quite a shame as it's such a fundamental part of this world. And now having that egg at hand, I thought that would be the perfect opportunity to finally use that place for a little museum type of build. I'm not thinking about a huge building, but rather a gazebo which would frame this dragon egg perfectly. And in the basement we could also place other historic stuff that is important to the lore of this world. So with that, why not jump straight into a time lapse for the structure itself? Enjoy! Gosh darn it! And here is it. A little gazebo with, I'm quite honest, quite a heavy roof. And we've gone with the amethyst and deep slate look, similar to our tower of navigation over there, even though it's a different deep slate variant. And I also put some amethyst clusters around, because I thought it gave it just a little bit more texture, made it look a bit more fluffy. Don't know if that's the right word. And now where I'm standing is a path leading to nowhere really. And that's just a little nod to when we first spawned into the world. I ran off in that direction first, but hit water pretty quickly and of course harvested some berries, so all that's represented here. And then we have two pathways in those directions, which will eventually connect to our path system we already have. Now, to our gazebo. Of course, the centerpiece will be the dragon egg. And I just thought about a little pedestal like that, maybe. And of course, we have to think about a way to light it. Yeah, you know the issue in the late game where you have a silk touch pick and no cobblestone? Even though you... Can't you also use those for levers? No! Really? Alright, forget that this ever happened. I don't even know where my fortune pickaxe is at the moment. Must be probably at the harbor somewhere. Alright. Awesome. But we still have to add even more lighting to this area as it's quite dark at the moment. Something as simple as that would do, even though that looks a bit odd. Could of course have them hanging from there, but then we would lose the trapdoors, but yeah, I think that looks better. Awesome, and then let's head all the way down. And I think, to be honest, it's a bit too claustrophobic down here. So while I don't really want to increase the footprint, I think we should lower the floor. Especially since I also want to add some custom ceiling into here. So let's do that. However, I'm not too sure what to do with the floor. I was thinking about maybe something like that. Which is not too crazy, you know. Still rather simple, but a bit more than. But alternatively, we could also play with deep slate. Or maybe even have a checkered pattern. But that, don't know, that is probably a bit too much. So we will stick with one material. I think that works kinda well and isn't too dark. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna go with. And let's see. Ideally, the ceiling design would also be kinda in a cross shape, basically. If I'm able to place the blocks, you know. And then they all come towards the middle. And then I would want the rest to be quite a bit lighter. And you see, because of the oak trapdoors, you can still see the stone above, so that you don't forget that it's still kind of a, you know, stony, cold, museum-type building and not too cozy. So I think that's the perfect mix out of both worlds. If we encase those with trapdoors, then we have kind of a darkish texture. I think that works. Let me grab some chests. Or we could also tie in the amethyst. Or of course, put in more redstone. More redstone lamps. Well, that would also solve our lighting problem, and maybe we could then also remove this one, as I'm quite frankly not too big of a fan of having one here. Now it's spooky. Where's my redstone lamp? Thank you. Alright, let's flick them all on. Awesome. And above we can then maybe add signs saying what's in these boxes, or maybe put them even in front. Or also have item frames. I'll put also some armor stands in here. We definitely need signs for those. How about a red carpet? However, we are going to fluff it a bit up. I think that works, right? Are you guys kidding me? Are you really serious? You wanna get your butts burned? Oh, the cat too. Wow, is it really so cold here? So cold in the tiger? Or maybe they're just mad that they got replaced by all the new wolf variants. Even though you did not get replaced, you know. Your texture's still in there. Why is there a fox in my pen? Are you trying to get the sheep? And sometime later, the museum is fully furnished. So let me give you a tour. Of course, the tour won't be too long, as we only have this one room. And we start, of course, where you always start, at the start. With our first tools, at least with what I believe are our first tools. And these items, these are also quite significant, as these are left over from the makeover of our base. And you know, the spruce leaves are just kind of the cushioning, if you want. And next to that we have our first set of armor. Don't ask me why there are no pants. It's just the way it is. And more curiosities we have in those chests. A little bit themed, I've named it the beginning, but really the overworld, the nether, and the end. But the end and the beginning make sense too. Something like that. Toni tried to be poetical, so don't judge him too hard for that. And we have various items. Old iron tools, a buried treasure map, our first glowing sack. The only Heart of the Sea I have in this world, I'm not too sure. The first ender pearl and some suspicious stew I found. You know, various stuff. The same with the nether equipment. These were the old golden boots we used to wear while going into the nether. Some bartering items. Some questionable tools we got from bartering. Stuff like that. And for the end, we of course have these mysterious messages that we received that led us towards the end, where we got the dragon head. And that is also home to some various rarities, like this curse book, which... what is on there? Just Curse of Vanishing. Our first diamond, our first grass block from an enderman, the splash potion that is left over as we only cured 2 villagers, as well as a present from my cat. Well, one of my cats. Don't ask me which one. So these are all the most important items, historically speaking, in this world. Of course, the most important item is the dragon's egg, but I don't think there's any explanation necessary for this, is there? And that concludes our little museum tour. Let me know if I've forgotten anything very important from this world. Maybe I have, but I don't think I do. Of course, there's always more stuff you could put in there, but then again we also have limited space. But seeing as we got ambushed by a creeper earlier, I think there's one more addition to this spawn area that we desperately need. Because obviously, we haven't been doing enough for the creeper gods. And that is why one gave us a wizard earlier and exploded half of my base. So to pacify the creeper gods, there's only one thing we can do. And that is to build a creeper statue. And I think right here, kind of between the path, the gazebo and that cave, is the perfect place. Of course it means another tree has to go, but there are still enough around, I think. And I did plan that out before in creative, because even though I made a tutorial on a creeper statue before on my channel, that was a bit too big for what I have in mind here, and I had to scale it down quite a bit. So that is the creeper's base, 3x5, plus the lip of the stairs of course, and it's a bit buried inside the hill, which is, I think, perfect, so it's not completely freestanding, and it... I don't know, do I like it brushing the tree? Maybe not, maybe we change that. Let's start with its toes. And then I have chosen these materials for the main body. I'm not too sure, we also should mix in just some cobblestone. Maybe could look good. Yeah, I think that actually is a good amount of texture. Maybe a bit more of those polished blocks. To give it more highlights, more of a contour. And not just... okay, that's awkward. Let's not do it like that. Maybe some cobblestone down here? Yeah, I like that. And then comes the toughest part, the head of course, and maybe I need to craft some more stairs first, so bear with me. Maybe doing the texturing on the go isn't the smartest thing, but... oh well, here we are. Okay. Let's hope for the best. Shall we? Oh! It's having a nose. No, no. No. Absolutely no. I did not think I could mess the texturing up that much. Okay, let's change that, shall we? To anything different, but not that. Yeah, that looks fine, I think. And then the final element, to light it up a bit, just to give it a bit of a mysterious glow, you know, and also cover up these deep slate blocks. Maybe you've spotted why I've used them, maybe not. But I explain that in a minute, don't worry. just want to have some of these around. No, I'm not getting out a shovel. I'm way too lazy for that. And the awkwardly sticking out deep slate is the reason for this barely visible. At least from that angle. Well, that is so, at least if we look at it from the front. It has some actual eyes, you know? Some actual pupils. Which look down towards whoever stares at it. Yeah, I think that fella looks kinda cute, doesn't it? Of course the feet are a bit large, but one block would be too thin. I experimented with walls, but it also didn't look right. So I think that's really the best you can do in a 3x3 scale. And all in all, I think that rounds out the place perfectly. So with that, all that's really left now is to link up that path. As you see, it ends right here, but isn't too far away from where we need to go. Maybe a bit of terraforming is needed. Not terraforming really. Fauna forming, and we have visitors and they're a village. Gosh darn it. Let's just ignore them for now. Maybe they'll go away. Are they still there? I don't see them. Oh, they're moving. Okay, as I said, let's just ignore them. If we ignore them, they are not there. If we don't see them, they don't see us. That's how that works, right? Why do I hear footsteps? Ah, the paranoia in this game. What are you doing in here? You know, it's not actually that difficult when you know what you're doing. I guess that's the price of night fishing. Whew. Hey, you could have helped me. Just staring at me that... Oh, dear. Lord, what happened? They killed him. That's why the other one's so scared. Okay. Couldn't really have helped me at all. Alright, back to work. And then we'll have to see where to place lanterns. Speaking of lanterns, I can only place 3 more. But we have some iron from... Well, you know where we got that from. No need to mention it. Yeah, maybe around here is good. Another one would be somewhere here, I suppose. Once we continue that path, of course. And with that, this world is officially finished. I'm just kidding. There are still plenty of grindy projects left. More pathways, bridges, stuff like that. But I won't do that in video, but rather on stream. That's right, there will be a stream from this world. The first and only one. If you're interested in that, keep your eyes open for when it will happen. Probably fairly soon after this video is posted. So we have a good opportunity to do all that grindy work and polishing up of this world before we can finally say goodbye. That's right. This is the last regular episode, as next one will be the finale, where we won't do any building or adventuring, but rather a look back to all 17 episodes, including this one, or 18 including the next one, or 19 including the stream. And as such we will have a world tour, look back at some old clips, be a bit nostalgic, and also talk about where the journey will lead us. With that, thank you all so much for joining me this time. I hope you enjoyed it, and I would love it if you would join me again for the season finale. Which, of course, in the grand scheme of YouTube Let's Play videos, will be just a small one, but for me, a really big one. Take care. and see you soon. Bye!